into positions of hopelessness and helplessness. The government gives them the drugs, builds bigger prisons, passes a 3-strike law, and then wants us to sing God Bless America. No, no, no. Not God Bless America. God damn America. That's in the Bible for killing innocent people. God damn America for treating us citizens as less than human. God damn America as long as she tries to act like she is God and she is supreme.
Let me get my Mayor Pete voice.
Send into your cave.
It's the voice of Pete, but the words of Bane.
Oh.
Not the other way around. The other way around would be, no one thought that a Midwestern mayor. It's the reverse of that. It's,
Okay.
the lights went out at a little event we had in Reno, and, there's a saying in South Bend, where I'm from. You think the darkness is your ally, but you merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. By then it was nothing to me but blinding. Blinding like the cell phones that those people raised to tell me to get off stage. Listen, I'm just... No one thought that the humble mayor of a small pit in Caracas, Venezuela could introduce a new type of politics. I was born in that pit. I was born in darkness. They made me the mayor of the pit. I fought everyone in that goddamn hole. All right? I'm running out of Bane shit.
Americans do not want to wait for a candidate who will break the bat.
Where I'm from, we don't care about the bat. We care about the rat.
Okay, now do the other one. Now do Bane saying stuff Pete Buttigieg says.
Okay.
I have high hopes.
Oh God! I mean, what does he say? He just says like weird,
The audacity of courage.
Let me
is
look
the
up
courage of audacity.
Let me look up his Twitter right now. I'm gonna just look up the last thing he tweeted.
Go to mayopete.io. It's a good tweet generator.
If you want a president who makes your blood pressure go down instead of through the roof, chip in.
The time has come to chip in.
Universal health coverage is not a radical idea, Batman. Eliminating all private insurance is. No industrialized country has gone that far. This goes further than what is acceptable in Denmark, the country. How's that going to fly in Denmark, Batman?
It's so funny. The implication of this is like the only places that have full coverage are like underdeveloped shithole places. They don't have electricity, but they have a full Medicare system that has sucked the country dry.
Why do you think it was so dark in the pit, Batman?
It was because I had health insurance.
There's one doctor in the pit.
We're saving money. We're very fiscally minded.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, but that
Socialism is a pit. It will break your back.
You see, my father was a socialist. I was born in the pit.
Yeah. I called into the Majority Report the other day and did that, and within a minute, I was like, oh, there's no more Bane material.
Oh, no.
He says 3 things, and the movie came out 10 years ago.
Okay, just stall. I have to fill 10 more minutes. Oh, fuck.
He goes, do you feel in charge? And then I think that's it. Everyone just remembers that he had the mask.
It just like, ho.
Okay, wait.
I mean, Mayor Pete says a lot more stuff, which is why I think the reverse is very good.
Okay, wait, here we go. Button says inspire onto mayop.io. What happened in Iowa despairs our struggles that if we called on incarceration in every kind of community to come safely in moment, that message can bring people movement and vision. This campaign to defeat Donald Trump. God. Yeah, it's just word salad. Batman.
Tom Hardy should run for American president.
Yeah.
He's so cool.
I mean,
he's in all the best things.
Why not, Wasn't that a big thing when Trump got elected? It's like, fuck it, it's celebrities now.
It's celebrities. Oh, we can't have a hot one? We have to just have, like, a series of, like, congealed potato salad presidents? Fuck that.
I want a fucking hot president.
Make it a hot English president in America.
Hello, everyone.
He does different fun voices in every show he's
That's
on.
not what every English person sounds like.
Hello.
I'm introducing the show as Bane, as Pete Buttigieg
Oh, okay.
Bane. Hello.
It is I, your president, Aberama Gold.
It is I, your host of Pod Damn America, the Gothic Socialist podcast from the pit of darkness.
Diablo.
I turned into Deckard Cain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the number one socialist Deckard Cain cast.
I'm Jake Flores. Hi, Alex Patax here.
Belial, the Lord of Lies.
And today we've got our first guest, at least, my pal and tour mate, often, and from Mean Stevie, Sara June. Welcome back to the show.
What's up? What's up?
Oh, not
Thank
much.
you for having me, Mr. Bane.
Miss-
I don't know Batman super well.
Mr. Bane.
Mr. Bane.
If that is your real name.
Mr.
It's
Bane,
not.
Can we just move to the Matrix? Can we do the Matrix instead?
Yeah, the Matrix is. We can do the Matrix.
Sure.
Pete Buttigieg is in the Matrix.
Do you think you're eating steak right now?
Yeah.
All I see is blonde, brunette, redhead.
Yeah. What? Pete Buttigieg in the Matrix. Okay, how do we do this? It's like
Pete Buttigieg is the lady in the red dress, except he comes by twice, but the first time he's a Republican, and then the second time, that's not working.
No, that's Elizabeth Warren.
That's Elizabeth Warren. First she's a woman of color, and then she's a white lady.
I think Pete Buttigieg is like Cypher. He's the guy that betrays everyone.
Pete Buttigieg would be Cypher.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He just wants to be famous.
He's eating a steak with the agent, and he's
Yeah.
just like, do you remember what it tastes like? I know it's not real, but I just fucking love it. Put that shit directly into my brain.
Pete and Chasten go to the rave in The Matrix Reloaded, and they're like, ugh.
They're the twins with the dreadlocks.
Yeah.
The best characters of the series.
You know how when you're
Baby.
in a same-sex relationship, you're the twins with the dreadlocks?
Right,
You're
right.
related to each other?
Hey, did you have the dreadlocks?
Pete is a relic of the Nightmare Matrix.
In a different time period, I could see Pete having white dreadlocks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a whole part of his life that he's paid to have scrubbed that is...
Gen X Pete has white dreadlocks.
the 1 year in college where he was like,
He wore a loose tie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, this will destroy my image if it's
Yeah.
dug up.
I'm here to grow.
I did meet someone who did cocaine with him at one point. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. It's so funny, but it's also like this as a point doesn't have any legs because I don't want to make him sound cool.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
also, it's weird though, because it's like, well, it's also that he's, cocaine is very popular among gay people, but he's extremely ungay. Well, he's not like a club guy, like a gay bar guy. Like they literally went to a gay bar and they canceled their event because there was like a stripper pole in it.
You know how...
Wait. That thing? That's where he did cocaine?
No. I'm just saying, as
I got
his
you.
whole.
I mean, he
oeuvre
probably
is-
also did
He really
there.
sanitized Ellen Gay, see Hamilton with Chasten, like, we're married and we talk about how we're married a lot, but we never kiss because people are grossed out by that.
This is why I'm saying, like, the fact that he did cocaine at one point leads me to believe that he was like cool at one point and then just decided.
I don't know, a lot of bad people do cocaine, Jake.
Here's
sorry.
my proposal here. You know how in the military, if you do a disgraceful action that shames your country, they remove your medal? That is what we have to do to Pete's cocaine use.
Yeah.
He has revoked his right to be a cool cocaine guy.
Turn in your nose, sir. He has to rip it off his face and put it on the table.
He also has a gun for some reason.
Yeah. Give me
Your cocaine gun
Yeah.
that everybody gets when they do it.
Give me your pinky nail, sir.
Damn, you guys get guns? I should do cocaine.
Yeah, I don't do. I wouldn't know. I don't do it.
I quit. I had to give in my gun and my nose.
I'm out here becoming the world's strongest man.
Proud of you, man. Good job.
Thanks,
Good job
bro.
giving up your nose.
Yeah, it was hard.
I filled my nose. Put cement in my nose.
Yeah, I have an Artie Lang nose now.
So what do we want to talk about this week? What's going on?
Sorry, put a picture of Artie Lang up in your house to inspire you to not do cocaine.
I'm
pretty sure Artie Lang has a picture of Artie Lang in his house to inspire him not to do cocaine.
I mean,
if I was Artie Lang, I would cover my mirrors like I was sitting Shiva.
I would just stick a fun little nose on the mirror so that when I look at it, I have a nose again.
Right. Make that nose do cocaine.
Yeah.
That's called manifesting the reality you want.
Manifesting the reality that you want. Now cut that shit up.
Do Pete talking about coke.
Pete talking about coke. Oh my god! Actually, you know what?
We want to put in our bodies.
Okay, this is how this all started. I just figured it out.
Right.
He does a huge fucking rail, and then he does that thing where he's like, "Okay, so I've got an idea for a business. It's a Central Intelligence Agency psyop where we go to Caracas and I already used Caracas. You see what I'm saying though, right? It's like this is one big coke small business that he just got out of hand.
Running for president is his coke small business. Running for mayor was also definitely a coke idea.
I have done enough coke to think about running for mayor. That seems like a very achievable goal.
And that explains how he became mayor and then never did anything.
Yeah.
Where I'm from in the heartland.
He did more coke, president. I'm from the fucking heartland. I should be mayor. That's Pete.
Yeah. And it did work out on that level. So respect for that.
Yeah.
You win this round, Pete.
Where I'm from in the heartland, we like to make the heart beat faster with artificial.
Neighbors shovel each other's snow into my huge fucking nose.
If you want a president who makes your blood pressure go up, but in a good way.
A president who can really fuck.
Yeah. He's like making fun of Bernie for having the heart attack. This bitch can't hang.
I'm saying, how do you think Bernie got that heart attack? The man fucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, no drugs. He just fucks.
That is it's one of the hardest parts of being his supporters is you have to fuck him.
Yeah.
I have a lot of problems with that.
Not me, us.
Not me, all of you.
It's a polycule.
That's why people get so mad when you're a woman who supports Bernie. They're really upset that you are having sex with him by supporting him.
Yeah, listen, it's not. The movement is important, all right?
1% of Americans own 99% of our harems.
We're going to talk about Means TV here in a minute, but I think we should sort of open the show by talking about a few things that happened this week on the internet that are very funny. First among them is that the Bloomberg campaign, which I'm obsessed with because they used my material without crediting me.
Right. Like The Daily Show.
Yeah, I know. God damn, all these motherfuckers.
Wait, The Daily Show used your material?
The Daily Show did like a last season of America thing after that thing I had, and you know, maybe parallel writing, but I know those fuckers know who I am.
Right.
Yeah, you know what? That's it's a viral tweet. There's no way it could have ever been plagiarized.
Right. I mean, it was also very unoriginal of a joke, but I invented it. Okay, so
I invented the sandwich and the tweet.
The Bloomberg campaign is hilarious because we're seeing like the limits of what money can just buy. They're doing all this astroturfing shit. The first thing that happened this week is that they're doing like fake graffiti, but it's a rich person's idea of what graffiti is. So there's these Bloomberg campaign headquarters where there's a sign that someone spray painted onto the sign and then like neatly pinned up over a Bloomberg sign that says "Eat the Rich" in extremely Are you still there?
Yeah. My theory on that is, can you hear me?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Just whatever.
Okay. My theory on that is that because a Bloomberg staffer was doing it and they didn't want to get caught graffitiing their own office, which was a possibility. Technically, spray painting a big piece of plywood and then leaning it up against a building is not illegal. That's like an important thing to point out. Like spray painting on a sign and then taping it to a window is like, you're not going to go to jail for that.
Right, because if they were caught doing this, then that would be like a huge problem. If they were caught
actually spray painting a building, they would be charged with vandalism.
Yeah.
So they did something that's actually not illegal, which is why no one would ever do it.
Yeah, I mean, No one in like the history of graffiti has ever done a thing where you like make a little sign at home on a piece of cardboard that you bought from like an arts and crafts store,
Right.
and then spray paint it very unelegantly before. The reason spray paint graffiti often looks shitty is because you have to do it on the fly because you're in public
Yeah.
and you're wearing a trench coat and stuff. But they did like little just stick letters, "Eat the Rich," and then hung it up on a wall, which is. Like, can you imagine being so rich you don't understand the concept of vandalism?
You know when you're going to do a crime, so you put down a towel first so you don't accidentally get paint everywhere?
It's like they couldn't actually bring themselves to do actual vandalism because they just respect property that much.
So our theory here is that the Bloomberg is paying his own staffers who are in turn either false flagging their own operations or legitimately vandalizing their own offices.
I have a theory because it came out like last week that they hired a comedy writer, and no one can figure out who it is. But it's clearly a really bad one because the jokes that they're tweeting out of the Bloomberg Twitter account are like atrocious, and it really says something about like how much like
You go to Bloomberg's page and it's just crowd work. Americans are wondering, you ever fucked an Asian? You
Yeah.
look like you fucked an Asian.
oh, it's Big
What
J.
else? What else?
Big J Okerson.
It's just they Photoshop fingerless gloves on all his pictures.
They had to.
Americans are saying, "Nice shirt, buddy."
They did this thing where they tweeted, this Bernie Sanders guy is so unrealistic. He sounds like he's trying to run for lead singer of Nirvana.
Right.
Hashtag Nirvana.
Have you seen this guy?
And
come on.
they had a bunch of their tweets taken down the other day because they did a thread that was a bunch of like, I'm going to read one right now. Who am I to question Kim Jong-un for, this is in quotes, so it's Bernie, like they're being Bernie.
Yeah.
Who am I to question Kim Jong-un for starving millions of his own people when he opened a kick-ass water park with over 10 slides, a lazy river, and a wave machine? What a blast! Hashtag Bernie on despots.
That's funny.
Yeah, so it's just a bunch of those where he's just like, Pol Pot was pretty cool. Hashtag Bernie on despots. and they had to, I think you're right about this thing where like they realized they're breaking the law because they had to take those down. They got reported and they were like, yeah, if you're running for president,
These
you
are
literally,
smears.
you literally can't go, I'm Bernie, I'm an idiot. This is a real quote where Bernie's saying it. So
Daf Sham Bloomberg. Americans are afraid to vote because their girl here.
I think
I see you voting. I see you voting.
I see you voting. My man over here is definitely trying to vote.
yeah.
Yeah, unlike you, Bloomberg can't be like, I'm a comedian. This is a
Parody.
comedy.
Right.
Bernie Sanders kills people. Parody.
So my theory is, I think it makes sense that if you're a billionaire and you think in very like technical professional terms and you go, I need a comedy writer and I need the best comedy writer, you won't find like one of us because we're, you have to go through comedy to get us. And if you ask me how much it pays to do a thing, I'm like, I don't know, man. But there's one person in the world of comedy that exemplifies the opposite mentality of us, who is the type of comedian that would have a LinkedIn account that would say, I am the best comedy writer of all time, and my rate is like $100,000 a job or whatever. And that's Dan Dinan,
Right.
who is the worst comedian, but the person who sells themselves.
He's the only one with a rider.
Like that. So it makes sense that someone like the Bloomberg campaign or some people like the Bloomberg campaign would, like, these two things would meet in that way, and they would go, well, everything that is the best of its thing is the highest rated on LinkedIn, right? So this must be the best comedian. So and he loves to be like involved in presidential shit.
Yeah. He likes the idea of politics without any specific politics. He's the perfect choice for this. Like, he's the go-to joke, but it might literally be him.
I think it might be him because he also said like some pro Bernie shit on Facebook the other day, but like I think he just likes whoever's winning.
He's just playing the field.
He will play multiple different candidates at the same time. He doesn't fucking care, and he's so bad.
Let me offer my counter theory.
Okay.
They have hired a comedy writer who is actually good and is writing bad jokes on purpose.
I've heard this theory.
That's my theory, because that Nirvana one was so perfect. But then again, I have read tweets before that I thought were fake joke tweets that turned out to be real tweets.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but when I read that Nirvana one, I was like, running for president of a hashtag Nirvana? This is like too good, you know? Like running for think about this. I'm going to say it one more time. Running for president of Nirvana. Okay?
Yeah.
High in the sky. These are very funny. These are very funny words. I think whoever wrote this is maybe funny and doing a bad job on purpose. But I can't wait to find out which one of us is right.
I truly hope that we're dealing with a hero, but I kind of...
Yes.
There's this thing with comedy...
I want a hero, Jake. Let me have it.
I just feel like whenever something weird is happening in comedy and no one can tell what someone's motivations are, we all start to go down like... We all get Andy Kaufman brain, and we're like, what if it's a genius? And it most of the time isn't.
Right. I did see that Bloomberg has asked former presidents of E, as in E exclamation point, and also Comedy Central to help him not write jokes, but to help him like navigate media.
What this campaign needs is a girl code. What do you do when your boy is texting?
It's so funny. You can have all that money, but you still need to hire people for shit that you know nothing about. So you're just like, the talk soup guy. Make people like me.
Did we decide on a... I'm sorry, Sarah, you go?
No, I was just... Who's a good person to navigate the news media? Former president of Comedy Central.
Yes. The famously funny people who work in their office.
Get me the Kyle Kinane voice.
Coming up next, we got former Mayor Michael Bloomberg. Man, he has the perfect voice.
Yeah.
I did really like the... did you see that Apprentice clip that somebody put on Twitter?
Yeah, with the hot dogs.
Oh boy, I had really blocked out The Apprentice.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, man.
I had really blocked it out, and now, like, reading it and reading the synopsis of the episode is like, wow, that was really on television.
Yeah, Gene Simmons was there.
Time.
You just want to watch other people get fired. Not now, where you're like, this is bringing me down.
Yeah.
You're like, that could be me.
There's so much economic doubt in this country.
Yeah, I mean, Bloomberg is one of like a million of these people, but it's so fucking depressing, like, trying to imagine that there isn't just this facade of like all these people fucking know each other, you know?
Yeah.
These people are completely incapable of producing like a candidate that doesn't have a fucking picture with Ghislaine Maxwell. It's crazy. She was, everyone knew what she was up to, and yet they all couldn't resist taking like selfies with her, even like years before selfies were even really a thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you have no pictures of yourself with anyone except Ghislaine Maxwell.
That woman was doing the most heinous crime on earth and just running around with like a Polaroid and just like not even a Polaroid, like a thing where you have to incriminate yourself. By
we were going to do
developed.
this at the debate. She was doing the Elizabeth Warren thing.
Ghislaine Maxwell selfie line.
I have 100,000 selfies with known pedophiles around America.
Yeah. Dude, that's how much they hate us. They're just like
it's a
throwing it in
selfie
our
because
face.
someone else took the picture.
Right. Yeah. The twain will meet.
It's really fucking crazy that Hillary Clinton has never talked in public about her and Bill's connection to Jeffrey Epstein. Not even to say we discount him now or like just never mention it ever.
Well, they did a joke about it on The Daily Show, and they just laughed about it.
You gotta laugh.
Like, women were abducted and raped.
Children were kidnapped.
Yeah.
And she's just
The
like,
darkest shit.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And we'll never get to the bottom of it.
Anyway.
We'll never get to the bottom of it. There's some fucking poll.
That was actually the joke that The Daily Show stole from me.
Yeah. Laughing at Epstein.
Yeah.
There was some fucking poll last week about people by candidate who believe Jeffrey Epstein killed himself, and not even the Rube candidate supporters past 50%. Everyone thinks that he for sure was murdered, and we will never look into it.
Yeah.
The dumbest people in America know this is a fucking ruse.
Well, it's because it's the worst pulled off ruse of all time. it's extremely poorly. Oh, the camera broke. He killed himself by hanging. Like, none of it makes any fucking sense.
Right. Also, just like all the facts that are like, though the security guard took a nap and the camera was off, and it was right after another time this happened.
He's friends with Bill Clinton, and there's nothing else after that.
Yeah, and he hung up a graffiti sign in his room before he did it because
Yeah,
he's a
yeah.
bad person. This is
It said, "I'm a socialist."
There was a cardboard spray painted sign that said "Blacks Rule." It's the last thing he ever wrote.
Yeah, I mean, Epstein really is kind of like similar to what we're talking about with the Bloomberg astroturfing, in that like it's very funny because the people that are this powerful can't conceive of what something like graffiti looks like, or what like a depressed
What a normal
suicide.
prison suicide looks like.
Yeah, because so they have to like dress it up, and I don't know. It's like so obvious. It's like when cops plant a gun on someone and they're like, oh, he or when they shoot someone and they're like, he fell on a bullet somehow.
Yeah.
He shot himself because he was so embarrassed.
Yeah.
With all that fucking money, you'd think they'd pull off a better murder or a better presidential campaign, but I guess money really can't buy everything.
I was going to bring this up after Jake said this earlier about how Bloomberg's campaign shows what money can buy, because money can buy politics. It has up until right now.
Certainly.
It's just, you go do it through NBC or CNN or whatever. You control the conversation that way. And what's specific about right now is what can money buy with no pretense? Just like a man being like, here's $1 billion, give me the presidency.
It's not more thought out than that.
I'm hiring people who hate me, and we're going to make this happen.
Yeah, it's really out in the open, and it's like, it's kind of working. It's really scary because you're like watching everyone watch it and you're going, you still like this.
I think the ruse is too important. I don't think it's going to work for him.
Yeah.
So far, that's what I'm believing. I don't know, maybe if his numbers are going to pick up. But
I'm in some Bloomberg Facebook groups that someone just snuck me into, and I can't tell if these are bots or if these are real
hide
people.
you in an onion cart.
Yeah.
Into the Bloomberg Facebook group.
But I've met people that really think like, the only way you can beat Trump is with like a person who's even worse than Trump. Or, like,
Yeah.
Cool, great. Then why are we even voting?
Why are we? Is it?
I had an old white person tell me that Bloomberg had more ethics than Trump, and then I had to end the conversation because I was going to yell at her. I don't know where you get that. I don't know where that idea comes from other than Bloomberg saying it.
I don't know. We were just on Keith and the girl the other day talking about him, and they were like, really? Like when we were talking about him, we're like, oh, fuck, right. I guess people, you're free to not know about any of this stuff.
If you don't,
I don't live in New York, and I've never lived in New York, but I have a few friends in New York, and I watch television from New York, and I know that Mike Bloomberg was a shitty mayor who was a racist. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
if you live in New York, I thought everyone that lived in New York was on this side. I thought we were all, like Rahm Emanuel in Chicago, all just yelling at him in public.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I think I think people do, but then they also think like, people just think that they're like the protagonist of life, and I think a lot of people think like, well, I know he's bad, but everyone else is dumb, and they'll think he's good, which means he's electable or something.
Yeah.
That is really the thinking behind talking about how electable someone is like, other people are dumb.
Yeah.
How dumb do I think other people are?
What can we get past these fucking cattle I have to deal with every day?
Yeah, dude, that's
My
why.
Flyover states. They're stupid enough to vote for Mike Bloomberg because he's rich, which I know is good, and they also think is good.
Yeah. No, that's why Bill Hicks is so popular. It makes people think like, me and Bill get it, but no one else does.
Bill, my only friend. We're the only ones who fucking get it.
Man, okay. NBC says Bloomberg might spend $30 million on direct mail, direct mailers to Latinos. Cannot wait to see what these mailers say.
El Boomberjo.
Those are going to be good.
Yeah. Oh, because everyone just
allowed-
realized that Latin people exist after Nevada. They're
Yeah.
like, shit. I got to do Duolingo before the next debate.
As mayor of New York City, I supervised over 1,000 churros sold every day under the ground in the subway. I can provide that service to you as president.
I believe you call it hot dog.
They're just direct mailers threatening to call DHS on people.
Yeah. He's just doing. That probably, a threat is a good way to get people to vote for you.
They're probably direct mailers that give incorrect information about how and where to vote.
Yeah.
Now that would be smart.
Yeah.
I wonder
That's
how
what
much
I would-
fraud you can get away with this much money. See, that's a better controlled test for this, is how much fraud can you do than if you can win an election.
I think that's what he's doing. He's got these fake Twitter, and it's like, okay, those got suspended, and now he's gonna put out. He's putting out misinformation everywhere, and everybody's like, Mike Bloomberg's lying, but it still doesn't. It doesn't matter.
It would be so
There's
funny.
a lot of people who just hear what he says, and they never hear the follow up.
Yeah. It would be so funny if someone running for president got their account suspended and they had to make a new one and be like, hey, refollow.
Sorry, everyone.
Yeah.
Tom Steyer 420 now.
I
That's my
said die Madho at Elizabeth Warren. Our friend
Shout out to Sean.
Yeah, our friend Sean got suspended
his,
for saying die Madho to somebody.
destroyed
That's
account.
good.
Sarah, let's talk about Means TV.
Let's do it.
What is it? I'm
What
just kidding. We've talked about it on the
is
show
it?
before. But what's happening, eh?
Well, so a year ago we did a fundraiser where we tried to raise $500,000 and we did not, but we did raise a couple $100,000, and we squeezed every goddamn fucking last penny of it to make a streaming service. So please subscribe to it so we can add more stuff to it. So basically it's like Netflix. It sort of looks like Netflix. It's a streaming service with like documentaries and short form stuff and long form stuff. We have some cool movies. We have some documentaries, and we have some like left tube stuff. We bought some things that were on YouTube that now you can only find on Means TV, which is cool because now those people get paid. And yeah, we have comedy, we have history. There's a little bit of animation. Hopefully that'll be coming up soon. And there's going to be a street fight show on there in March. There's also going to be a show that I wrote called Bad Future.
Nice.
And an
Nice.
animated sketch series later on. Yeah.
Is your UI
pretty-
better than CISO?
Yes. I can say that with 100% certainty it is.
All right. I've been hurt once, Sarah.
I know.
Well, that's why you have to hire
Can't be-
comedians for this stuff, because we've been through CISO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know.
Mhm.
We're hurt.
Yeah. You can't be too careful these days when you click around on a website. Sometimes you just get taken down a rabbit hole of corporate social responsibility pages, and nothing like that here. We have no corporate social responsibility. We're not a corporation. We're a cooperative.
I'm on one of those shows, right?
Are you?
I did a voice. If I got cut, it's fine.
Are you on? So right now we have we have 4 shows, like regular like updating daily shows, and these are live streams. One is Means Morning News. That's from the District Seminole Boys. That's based out of Washington D.C.
Oh, yeah,
we
the
got-
Sams.
Yeah, the Sams. Yeah, so the Sams are doing a morning news show, and they've got a set and everything. It's great. We're doing Left Trigger, which we've been doing on YouTube for a while. That's a Let's Play.
That's Bryn.
I have
our
a
friend.
great episode of that
Yeah.
one of my wife yelling at me while I play
You
video
do.
games.
Yeah, very good. Very relatable.
It's extremely for the fellas.
We got a sports show with Dave Zirin called Southpaw Sports. For people that care about sports, I understand there's a lot of exploitation going on there. So they're doing that Monday nights. It's live. And then everything else is on the platform for you to, binge, for you to fucking Means TV and chill. Please binge.
Cool.
You can't binge for that long. We don't have that much content yet. But we have enough content for you to binge right now.
But soon we'll have like the
Yeah,
weird.
soon there will be more.
The goal with starting a streaming network is, I think, to reach this point where you have the vague overload when you log in. You're like, I don't know what I want to watch.
Yeah.
And then you just sit there and then you fall asleep.
Folks, they're
Yes.
bringing back Nyan Cat. You can watch hours and hours of Nyan Cat
Yeah,
on
we're bringing
Means
back a
TV.
feature-length Nyan Cat.
The movie.
Did you know that Sarah made that?
Yes, that's why I said it.
Okay.
That's why you made the joke.
Sorry, that was an interesting coincidence.
Alex, you will not believe this. We have Nyan Cat in the room.
I'm just eating it because it's a Pop-Tart.
Yeah, I suppose now that I should tell you that it was a very influential video for me growing up, and
Yeah. That's why you are always flying.
it inspired me to be a Pop-Tart crazy guy.
That's beautiful.
Hey,
When
I'm a
it first came out,
cat.
I did have a lot of people sending me pictures of their kids listening to it and dancing to it, which was really nice.
Wow.
My brother
some
Luke
kids,
loved it.
Yeah, did he like jump around?
Yeah, he would jump around. He'd say, "I'm Nyan Cat. I'm Nyan Cat. Look at me. I'm Nyan Cat. Nyan 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 Nyan."
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, it was the culture
That's
at the
really
time.
cute.
It was the style at the time.
And babies would like fall asleep to it. And also somebody sent me a video of their cat watching it, which was also very cute.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I always wonder how much a cat can like perceive of a screen, because so much of what you see on a screen is just interpreted by your brain to be a representation of an image. And so if a cat sees TV, does it know it's looking at a person or a bird? I don't know.
Well, I used to play. There's a bunch of videos on YouTube for cats that are like somebody puts like a GoPro outside next to their bird feeder, and then they film it for like 3 hours. Or they put a GoPro inside a pumpkin, and then they put the pumpkin outside, and a squirrel comes in and eats all the pumpkin seeds, and then they put that 3-hour video on YouTube.
Yeah.
You can play it for your cat. It's really good. And
well, here's the thing: is the
would
sounds definitely work. They identify the sounds, but I don't think that their brains can interpret a screen.
Oh, I think they can, because my cat used to paw at the computer screen and look around the backside of it to see where the bird was. And then we used to have a projector, and we would project it on the wall, and she would jump and try to catch the bird.
Do I have dumb cats?
I don't know. Sara's cat's pretty dumb. It might
My
have just
cat's kind of dumb, but she's still she's getting it.
Oh no, Mila. I was thinking of
Mila.
Bozo.
Oh no, Bozo.
Yeah,
would
if you have a cat named Bozo.
absolutely freak out.
He's
dumb
not
as
actually
shit.
named Bozo.
Oh, okay.
That is a polite way of saying his real name.
Oh, okay.
Which, what happened there? It became problematic after we named the cat or something? Or you named it?
Yeah. I don't fucking know, man. Not my cat, but he's my nephew, and I love him.
We should make cat TV for Means TV to radicalize our pets.
That's a really good idea.
Think of that.
I think cats
think
are
that's good.
Republicans.
Yeah, Cat Bill Maher.
Oh, excuse me.
I'm the most employable comedian of all time.
All right.
Cats are anarchists, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
They are. They wear little bandanas
Fair
and
enough.
stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds cool. I'm going to like and subscribe.
Do we have any?
Thank you. So subscriptions are $10 a month. And everything that's on our YouTube channel is available on our YouTube channel, and you can watch all that for free if you don't have $10 a month. But yeah, we've had a few people. Sometimes we put out videos. So we got some videos from this outfit called Art House Politics, and we put up a couple videos, and people were like, "Isn't this an Art House Politics video?" And we were like, "Yeah, we paid him to buy it. Like, we bought it from him, and now we're putting it up." You know?
Right.
Yeah.
So any shit you see on the memes TV that you're like,
Got
I've
'em.
seen this meme before, we bought it. Don't worry about it.
So yeah, someone
If
tried.
you're at home getting concerned watching, thinking
we're
they
not
just stole a bunch of
Jerry.
shit.
Well, it happens. But cool your tits. We're not stealing from other fucking communist comedians.
Chill the fuck out.
Shut the
Yeah,
fuck
Shut
up.
the fuck
Shut the
up.
fuck-
Log the
Shut up-
fuck off.
Shut up and subscribe.
I'm trying to
No, don't log off.
binge.
Stick your head in a toilet and log off. I'm Michael Bloomberg, and I wrote this joke. I'm Michael.
Definitely one of the best things we have up on memes right now is Gaza Fights for Freedom, which is Abby Martin's documentary
Oh, yeah,
about
nice.
Palestine. It's extremely fucking good.
Metal.
It is metal. Yes, it is metal.
Cool.
So yeah, that's worth your $10. Yeah, it's been really interesting, like trying to figure out how to make a production company that is a cooperative, because that's literally never been done. And the production, like video production and video distribution and the entire media landscape is full of just stealing content from people, and that's kind of how it functions, is on free labor.
I know.
I know.
Do you know
Jake
that?
is Jon Stewart. We've been over this.
I'm looking at you, The Daily Show and Michael Bloomberg.
But I mean, moving to LA was such a people say it crushes your dreams, and it does, but like not in the way that, like, I wasn't like, I'm gonna be a star. I was like, I'll be a production assistant, and then I'll move up the ladder.
No.
And it's actually not how it works.
You get dogs for terrible people.
It was very weird seeing, like, all these shows that, like, even shows that, I'm sorry, I gotta say it, shows that are good and shows that I like, depend on the free labor of at least 15 people, and
Yeah.
that's fucked.
Yeah.
Like, without that, those shows don't exist. And I can't get behind that, because that's stupid.
I was
There's got to be a better way.
There's got to be a better way.
Hey.
Exactly.
Automatic scissors.
I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I was one of the last group of unpaid interns on the Colbert Report.
Oh, really?
Literally the last one before they were like, "This is illegal."
Yeah. Was that around the time of the Black Swan lawsuit?
Yes, I think so. I got an email that was like, "Hey, do you want to sue Viacom?" And I was like, "I would like to one day work in entertainment, so no." I don't want to go on a list
Smart.
for $300 or whatever.
Everybody that works at Viacom has sued Viacom. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you should have done that.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, when you go like to have your first day there and they just play the training video for you that just shows how they own all of media, it is a real black pill moment. Here's SpongeBob,
Yeah.
here's Friends, here's washing machines. It's all from us. It's all us.
Was that a picture of me? Yes, we own you.
We
too.
own you.
We made you.
Get inside Chandler's mouth. It's part of the ceremony. Feed Chandler.
They show you some of Jake's mean tweets. Jake works for us.
Yeah. They burn a huge effigy of Dan Ninen. I don't know.
All right.
I've been trying to think of Dan Ninen, Bloomberg doing jokes that Dan Ninen wrote for him all episodes. So like he comes out and he's like, "I know what you're thinking. What race is this guy?"
Oh, wait. I just thought... So I'm
Yes.
so worried about Bloomberg having any kind of success as an anti-Semitic avatar, right? Because he's a stereotype of all the worst things about Judaism. Watching the debate with my wife last night, who is Jewish, we get halfway through the debate. She goes, "Wait, what race is Michael Bloomberg?"
It's working.
Oh, no.
I'm half New Yorker, half Japanese, so I get my sushi at 9/11.
He does the Andrew Cuomo thing where he's like, "I am a gay man. I am Latino. I am a wife.
I am a waifu.
I am
a
Tsundere."
I am an e-girl. I am an e-boy.
I am a mother. I am a senpai.
I am a furry.
I just googled what race is Mike Bloomberg, and there's nothing. Oh wait, ethnic celebs.
Ethnic
I could go to the-
celebs.
Oh, yeah, you're on Ethnic Celebs? That's my
Yeah, you
homepage.
know.
It's my
If you guys
favorite
are ever wondering
pornography
if there's a
website.
to find out which public figures are Jewish or not,
That shouldn't
and there's a
exist.
website. Nope, it sure does. It's pretty racist. Oh, okay. Bloomberg, Ashkenazi Jewish, Russian Jewish. There you go. This is a more unbiased celebrity ethnicity website than ones I've seen in the past.
Yeah.
Somebody was like, "Oh, is Natalie Portman?" Somebody was like, "Natalie Portman's Jewish." I was like, "Oh, really?" They were like, "Yeah, here's the link." And I was like, "I don't need a link, dude."
Here I am on Ethnic Celebs. Checks out. If you have any money left over from Means TV, give it to Ethnic Celebs.
Yeah, we're launching.
They're a
Yeah.
socialist ethnic identifying platform.
I think for time we should probably wrap up here
Yes.
pretty soon. Is there anything else we should get to about means?
I mean, do you have any stuff about it that you want to ask?
Not on air.
Let me pause real
We're
quick.
on air. Okay.
All right, there it is. So actually, I do have like one or two questions about Means TV because obviously, like, I am behind a worker-owned, entertainment outlet production company. Obviously, if you listen to this show, it should not be surprising, right? It's kind of extremely on brand or whatever. But the one question that I do get about it when I talk about Means TV is the viability. Like, is this is a really ambitious project? I know Nick is a young guy. I mean, it's crazy to me that he's able to get all this stuff off the ground. It's
Can
very
you even
impressive.
do this if you're not 18?
No.
So
That's the answer, really, is Gen Z doesn't know what's possible and not possible, so they just do stuff.
Well, that's-
because they're like, well, I guess I'll die in 10 years.
right, that's
right.
a good. That's kind of a good quality though. It's a feature.
I agree.
You can utilize that nihilism into like a really, really.
It's a
strong,
sexy way to live.
strong source of ambition. If you're just like, well, I'm gonna die at some point soon anyway. But yeah. So I guess people, really ask the question of like whether it'll actually get off the ground, whether it'll function in the way we want it to. And I think an interesting counterpoint to what Means is doing is that, like, this guy Nathan Robinson recently brought up on Twitter a thing that turned into a big conversation, which was the idea of a left cable news network, which I think is interesting because after Sanders won Nevada, we saw a lot of pundits kind of have this come to Jesus moment where they realized this is happening. I can't fucking stop it.
Oh my God.
Joy and Reed was really funny.
Yeah, Peter Dow also, like, op-ed columnists are now like, well, looks like Bernie's winning, better get behind. Like, Peter Dow went, fucking, Paul Krugman hasn't gone yet.
Well, Peter Dow's been a comrade for about a year.
Yeah, he's
oh, wow.
Yeah, he went full on.
He's Maoist now.
Yeah, he's Chairman Dow.
Maoist.
But he's a great example of somebody who actually, I think he actually came to Jesus. Like, it wasn't that he got pressured in. But, like, you know, Chris Matthews, in regards to Nevada, said all this crazy anti-Semitic shit and had a meltdown. And the MSNBC responded by saying that they're going to look into hiring more pro-Sanders voices because I think they're realizing that they're going to need to do that when he's eventually the nominee and possibly the president, right? And so I think what Robinson was talking about in a cable news network is serving as a counterpoint to the toxicity of the cable news things that are, you know, pushing really horrible liberal and conservative narratives. Like, maybe we should get into their arena and actually, you know, since we're gaining a little bit of a hegemony, like fight in that realm, I guess. And so with Means, it's like we're in I guess my main thing with Means
like
is
the Hulk movie.
With Means we're in a little bit of a different arena, which is still good. And also, these things are not mutually exclusive. Like, we should be doing both and more, I think. But I don't know. What do you think about that? Like, what is Means' like mission?
Dare you fight in the arena of takes?
I am brave and strong. Yeah. I think the idea... Okay, so basically what we're doing right now... Oh, my mom just texted me to tell me that my cat should not get coronavirus. Great. I'll be very careful.
Is that a worry people have?
Well, the Nyan cat is from Asia.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a tiny little face mask on her.
So cute.
Look at it, cute. So we're in a very weird space in media right now, right? So when you say a leftist cable news network, there are two parts to that. One is a leftist news entity, and one is cable news. Buying cable news, like telecast crew, satellite bandwidth, the literal means of production, and the means of distribution, which are like physical things that you have to buy the rights to. You have to buy airwaves, you know? So what we're doing on Means is, like, we are a leftist identified entertainment and news platform, but we're doing it on internet streaming, which is way, way, way more cost efficient, which is why we're doing it.
Right.
It costs I don't know how much you guys know about, like, the cost of making and licensing content, but basically we raised $200,000, which to a cable news network would be jack shit, and we made a whole streaming service with, like, at least 40 hours of content starting.
Yeah.
And that's like, and some of those are original productions, which are way more expensive. And what we did when we were licensing was, like, we ran around to all these independent filmmakers, and most of whom their only outlet for distributing their films that they had made was putting them up on Amazon. Amazon gives you 2 cents a play when you put your movie on Amazon. That's bullshit. Like, these people were getting $500 checks a year because, like, thousands of people watched their film and they were just getting like $500, and that sucks. So even with the very, very little 2-cent wealth tax, even with the tiny amount of money that we had, we were still offering these independent filmmakers a better deal than what they were getting from Amazon, a company with billions of dollars.
Yeah, sure.
So it's not so much about how much money you have, because with internet and streaming services and the cost of hosting, like, huge amounts of material, those costs are changing, like, at the speed of fucking light. You know what I mean? Like, the platform that we're building today might be totally different next year because we might have some kind of a fucking innovation in lossless streaming.
Right.
Because that's how fast these things are changing. So I think the idea of, like, is it viable? I think the answer is yes. And it really just depends on if people will pay for it. Because, like, no one asks, is cable news viable? It just is, because somebody pays for it to happen.
Because you can sell a lot of cars.
Yeah.
Because you can sell a lot of cars, because you're selling ad space. Like, cable news has a huge, huge amount of waste, and it relies on ad revenue. A leftist cable news network would have to have ads on it for revenue. What would those ads be? Like, a huge part of the Means platform is that we don't have ads, because that is what is most disruptive to a cable or actual broadcast television streaming network. Online, we can actually afford to survive on donations and not have any ad revenue. And again, I cannot overstate how much money ads make. It's all the money. It's all the fucking money. So us doing it without ad revenue and only on donations, the amount that's been done is, like, I think very promising. You know, there's no guarantees, but basically, is it viable? It depends on if people will pay for it. It depends on if we reach the audience we're trying to reach and make the stuff that people want to see, and if people are willing to pay for it and help it grow.
I think Means TV is a really good idea because of what you're talking about with the no ads, meaning that it's uncorruptible. And I also think that means that it's a really good incubator for the people that work within it creatively, because then you don't have to fucking jump around to a bunch of different corrupt, things within the mainstream media that all, cause you to alter what you're doing in order to sell it on the fucking thing.
There's also the fact that cable is dying. I mean, it's only watched by old people by this point. This is like inventing a new socialist, like, horse and carriage.
I think that was the argument for a left cable news network. Is just like, we need to fucking talk to these goddamn old people because they
but
don't.
The amount of time it will take you to do that, it's not relevant anymore.
Yeah.
Just fucking make a thing for young people.
Yeah. No, I agree.
That's kind of our thought. And I think the idea of having more leftist pundits is a very good idea. I think having, like, go-to leftist pundits. I mean, at this point, it's, we're working pretty well with people like Anand Giridharadas, like, he's doing some of that work when he goes on MSNBC. But, like, MSNBC is not going to hire you to go on their channel and be like, fuck MSNBC and fuck you and fuck Chris Matthews. Because they know where their fucking bread is buttered,
The coward Chris Matthews hides in plain sight.
Imperialist running dog Chris Matthews.
I sharpened my blade waiting for him.
I would love it if Nathan Robinson went on CNN. I would love it if Nathan Robinson went on fucking Fox News and just battled it out. But I don't think that a left cable news network is... I don't think that cable news, the structure of it and the means of production are things that can hew to a leftist ethos of work in the way that a streaming service can. And that's just about the technology,
Yeah, well said.
So, I got a lot of thoughts about the changing media landscape, if anyone wants to put me on air. I'm talking about cable news. I'm trying to get on cable news.
I follow you. Well, you're trying from the worst platform of all time, but
no, we'll get you on there for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I like to imagine that I've pissed off the Pod Save America people enough to where they've listened to an episode or two. We did get a lot of listens on the one episode. We were just like, we're talking directly to you, John.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet they immediately listened to the Stalin ep. And they were just like,
John.
Anyway,
it's a reactionary book.
Well, hey guys, if you want to support Means TV, they are having premiere events in multiple cities. One of them will be this Friday in Brooklyn at Littlefield, where we did our show with the Antifada a while back.
Brooklyn, New York.
I will be emceeing the event, and it'll also feature... Let me fucking get this lined up. Okay, I found it. Here's everything that's going to be on the show on Friday at Littlefield. It's me, hosted by me. There'll be a screening of Sarasota Half in a Dream, which is a surrealist documentary about dead turtles, crab swarms, decaying resorts, and microscopic histories. That sounds fucking tight.
It's sick. I'm going to tell you, it's dope, and I love it.
And then music from Nervous Dater and our friend Bryn's band Stay Inside, which is an emo post-hardcore band. Cool, yeah. So that'll be happening here. And then there's also like another event, a couple other cities, right?
Yeah, there's one in Detroit where they're screening, I believe, a different documentary that's on the Means service, and there's one in Seattle, also at a theater Yeah, so there's like, if you want to come out and see this stuff and meet other people who are interested in a leftist streaming service, you should go to one of those.
Cool.
Yeah.
You had one more thing, yeah?
Yeah, so I kind of wanted to talk about cooperatives for a little bit because, like, you know, when we talk about leftism, there's sort of a talking about like how we can do business as leftists, how we can make money, and in a way that's like ethical, you know, without exploitation. And a lot of the talk about Means TV and its viability, I think, sort of comes from that. And I got involved with Means because the idea of a cooperative entertainment streaming service had never happened. And the reason it's never happened is because media production as we know it is extremely hierarchical. You know, like you start at the bottom of a ladder, you move up a ladder, it's very bureaucratic, and it's very like, I own you, I own this, and it's very corporate. So in making a cooperative entertainment service, we're literally making it up. We're reinventing everything that I know and that Nick knows about making shit, making videos, and we're having to try and make it adhere to an ideology that it has never been forced to adhere to.
Yeah.
Like, Hollywood exists on free labor, like all media exists on free labor and exploitation. To try and make media without free labor and exploitation is like, we just have to figure out new ways of doing things. And a big one of those is owning the actual fucking means of production, owning the equipment that we use instead of like renting.
That's why it's called that.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, I really think cooperatives, I don't know if you remember when I lived in this co-op in Austin. I don't think we were like hanging out, but I used to live in this co-op house in Austin, and it was like,
I knew many co-ops in Austin.
You knew many co-ops in Austin, but I moved into a co-op that was starting. And a big thing that happened was everybody was like, all right, so we just like do whatever we want, right? And I was like, no, we have to have a lot of rules, actually. And it was like, it's very difficult. I think people kind of think that when we talk about an entertainment or a media service that doesn't exploit people, that we're being utopian. But like, it's extremely not utopian. It's in the dirt. It's on the ground. How do we figure this out? We've started doing things that we've then realized this is a bad idea. Like, this is very much we are building this out. We are seeing how people respond to it. There are good critiques. Like, we want good critiques. And just the whole structure of how a cooperative business works is so different from how a normal business works that it's like really hard for people to wrap their heads around. But I think it's the fucking wave of the future, man. I mean, I think people got to learn how to get along with each other better. And it's not fun and it's not clean, you know? It's not like everybody just loves each other.
Yeah.
Does this make sense?
Yeah, totally. I mean, we're talking about restructuring an entire thing. It's not going to be a fucking utopia, but I mean...
It's time we turn TV from television to team vision.
Thank you.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we very hungoverly tried to explain the origins of the Oscars the other day on the show as but the story there is that it's a union busting tactic. That's why they created the Academy. And like, yeah, you think about that and you're like, it might be possible that this extremely archaic, fucking old-timey, extremely exploitive system might be, the rails might be falling off of it at this far into the future, you know? So I don't think it's that ambitious at all to challenge that. I think it's really cool.
Yeah. The guys that made the studios in Hollywood, they were all basically like real estate developers who were looking to branch out. You know, they were fucking Amazon priming that shit. You know, they were like, well, I have lots of money from selling Southern California. I might as well start a movie studio. And they did, and they made shit tons of money. And they could just do, they just do whatever they wanted. It's very, people complain a lot about the Hollywood unions, like SAG, but like, before SAG, actors were owned by studios. Like, people don't really talk about this now because now actors get paid millions of dollars and we talk about how they're overpaid.
Yeah.
But when the entertainment industry, like when feature films began, if you were an actor and you were owned by a studio, you just did as many movies as they told you to do, which was like 20 a year.
Yeah.
And you dated who they told you to, and you ate what they told you to, and you took the drugs that they told you to, and you worked 20-hour days all the time, and you had no choice.
Yeah, you're
you
like a pro wrestler.
Exactly. So it's like, that's fucked. We can do better.
Do better, Hollywood.
Do better.
Do better.
Couldn't
it's
say
not
it better
easy
myself.
to figure out how to do better, but it's a lot easier than just going along with this current system that sucks and trying to figure out ways to like, well, what if we get leftist voices on cable news? Fuck cable news, dude. Cable news is owned by billionaires. They're never going to put real leftist voices on there because they threaten them.
All right.
And we now have the technology in digital, like with digital cameras, essentially, to very cheaply build our own shit.
Fuck yeah.
As Bane
Fuck
once
yeah.
said, the workers of the world have nothing to lose except their chains.
Yeah. Bane.
Pretty cool. Yeah, Bane.
Yeah, we should make one of those memes where it's like the heads, it's like Marx, and then
And then Bane.
Yeah, it's a bunch of Lenin.
How about
and then,
3 Banes?
and then Bane? Yeah, it was just 4 Banes.
Right. Rule of Banes.
Mount Rushmore, 4 Banes.
Yeah, all Bane, Mount Rushmore.
All Bane masks.
All right. Well, I think we got to wrap it up here. But fuck yeah, no, I'm glad we talked about that because that made a lot of sense. And yeah, you guys are fucking doing the good work. So
You gotta do it. Give us money.
It's
We
cool
love
shit.
yeah, fucking sign up for Mean TV, watch Mean TV, give Mean TV money, come
That's
to
good.
the
And
show.
also,
Feed
if
the
you-
beast.
If you give Means TV money, tell us what you want us to make. Tell
There
us
you go.
what you want
Right.
to watch. We give a shit.
They don't let you do that with regular TV.
There's no rule against porn being part of this.
They just tell you Roseanne's coming back, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Roseanne's coming to Means TV.
Yeah, big announcement. We hired Roseanne and also
With Tim Allen,
Al Franken.
Al Franken, yeah.
They're gonna make them kiss.
It's a home for canceled celebrities. The island of
Foster's Home for Kansas.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, it would be kind of funny if they did like a reality
A struggle
show,
session with a bunch of canceled celebrities living in a house together.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love that.
like the surreal life type thing.
Yeah.
That'll happen in the next few years. I predict it.
Yeah,
Anyway,
That'll
man, pitch it to
happen.
me.
all right, Sarah, where can people find you?
HeySaraJune.com is my website. I don't have social media anymore, but you can go to twitter.com/means_TV
There you
for
go.
Means TV stuff.
Cool. All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Peace has made you weak. All right, moving on. We've got another thing I think is important to talk about this week. We have a guest named Jaya Sundaresh. Did I pronounce that right?
It's actually Jaya.
Jaya, got it.
Yeah. A lot of people get that wrong because there's another writer in town named Jaya, and it's like the bane of my existence, but it's fine.
The
It's cool.
bane of my existence. So that's a callback to something that happened earlier on the podcast.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. Well,
It's
Jaya.
kicking in.
Got it. This is the first time we've spoken. This is what happens when you're friends with people on the internet. You go, hello, your name's Piss Demon? No, it's Ron.
Here's Demon 69.
Yeah,
Good lord.
Is that Boner Hitler?
that's a real person.
That's his birth certificate.
One of my friends has a very, very fucking, like that username online and was approached by the Bloomberg campaign, and he showed me the email. It's just like, hello, I'm not going to out who it was, but it was,
Hello, Hentai Stalin.
yeah, we like what you're doing here, and we think that you might be able to help us. Anyways, Jaya, it is my understanding that you tangled a little bit with our boys over at Pod Save America, our stupid bastard sons, which is something that we do, or at least I do. I got into it with one of them, John's, a while back.
Yeah, you established contact.
It did, yeah. So I support this.
It's the first step to fucking them.
I support everyone fighting Pod Save America on the internet. So I thought I would have you on and just tell the story because it's
Weave
really
us
funny.
a
Sure,
web.
yeah.
So what happened exactly?
During the debate, one of the last debates, I forget, there have been so many, I made like a throwaway joke about Beto O'Rourke. I said,
how dare you?
Yeah.
I know, right?
Speak ill of the dead.
The guy who
entire
is not
world,
running.
Went nuts.
They love him.
I don't get it. I mean, he's nice and all that. I'm sure he's a nice guy. I mean, he's a neoliberal corporate hack, but like they all are.
Yeah.
But like at least he's a real. So I made this joke that was like Beto O'Rourke is going to get really pissed off when Bernie wins Texas.
How dare you say that?
Yeah.
I know.
How offensive.
And some Beltway blue check shithead retweeted it or quote tweeted it, and I didn't even see it because my mentions are tailored as hell. And he said how this is a really bizarre thing to tweet.
Mm-hmm.
And John Favreau, with 1.2 million followers, responded, "What a sad, strange." Wait, what did he say?
Just sad.
Sad, small, ignorant person.
He just said sad, like Trump.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. No, he definitely said sad, small, ignorant person. And I felt this like current of rage go through me when I saw that. Because he has 1.2 million followers. And frankly, I am not sad, small, ignorant, or a person.
I am not a dirty little worm, as he implied.
I got really pissed, and so I screenshotted it, and I wrote, nothing to see here, folks. Just a podcast gazillionaire with 1.2 million followers picking on an early career journalist with, no followers. Enjoy. And everything went fucking insane. The tweet blew up, and a lot of people got really mad at me. John Favreau writes in response, just because you're an early career journalist doesn't mean you can say or do whatever you want.
White knighting for Beto O'Rourke.
This is the strangest thing to pick a fight over.
Yeah.
I don't understand what is happening.
The thing that I hate
everyone
about
was like, Texas is Beto country. You're going to piss off Texas, and we're not going to vote for Bernie.
That's why. The forces of history
you
are not
would
a
feel
thing.
bad. You would feel bad if you ruined Texas for Bernie Sanders, wouldn't you?
You know how presidential elections are all altered by jokes? The outcome is always, fucking, Bob Hope said something in the 60s and then Nixon got elected.
That's right.
That's not how that fucking works.
Like wings of a butterfly.
Yeah, like one 280 character tweets can change the course of the universe. No, I don't think so.
The thing I really hate about these types of people is, this dumb lib brain thing is that they have one foot in the comedy world. Like, those people have like a comedy podcast and stuff, and they all think of themselves as comedians and stuff. But then they have this thing where they're like, a comedian making mean jokes about a politician.
Right.
It's like the first thing. It's the oldest type of joke in the fucking book. And they think that A, it's mean and you're not supposed to do it, and B, it's going to affect the election, which it just fucking doesn't.
If you're not supposed to make fun of politicians, who does that leave?
Right.
For you to make fun? Just the homeless.
It's literally punching up. It's their fucking thing.
Yeah. I don't get that. I didn't know the Johns were supposed to be funny. I always kind of pictured them as these like earnest, Beltway sentient lanyard dorks.
Well, they are, but
because they have a TV show and a media network. They're supposed to be charming and funny now.
I think Lovett is the one that's actually like got some kind of weird improv background or something.
Yeah.
It does not shock me that they have improv background.
Yeah. But those types of people always list their shit. That they
Beto
make.
O'Rourke got yes-anded into running for president. That is exactly what fucking happened.
Yeah, it's a scene that got out of control.
I think at one point during the bullshit, I tweeted a link to Lizzo's Love Hurts or Truth Hurts or whatever the song is, the one that has the DNA test line.
Yeah.
I said, John Favs, this is the reason why Elizabeth Warren can't play Lizzo at her rallies. It's because of you.
I bet that made him
Because
cry.
you talked them into the DNA test.
Right.
Bullshit. So that was pretty fucking
That does make me think, like, they're especially mad about your tweet, not even because of anything you said to Beto, because you were not that mean to Beto, but mostly just that how bad they must feel for getting him to run for president and then nationally shaming himself.
Yeah, this is totally, like, projection.
Like on House of Cards when the barbecue guy's joint gets shut down because of Kevin Spacey. This is like the same thing.
Yeah, they just don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, hopefully.
Beto,
I
you
mean,
make it fun,
but
it's
I
real.
will say that there were guys in my DMs, like, this was the funniest thing. He was like sending me pictures of him canvassing with Beto O'Rourke in Texas with his son. Like, how dare you? This man was knocking on doors with me and my son, and then he sent me a picture of like a smiling blonde woman, and he said, "This is his sister."
Would you, yes or no?
She seems nice. I don't know.
God.
What a beautiful family, my God.
It would be a shame if something would have happened to this family.
I was like, they seem like nice white people. I don't really know what else.
What
to
have
tell
I
you.
done?
Yeah. God damn, dude. What a bunch of fucking losers.
And
He
it's
has
still
a
not.
sister.
My mentions are still a mess. I mean, every so often someone sends me a link. Someone called me a subhuman. Can we talk about that?
Wow.
Yeah.
They said, and I got called a Russian.
Wow.
Of course.
Same thing, am
Someone
I
was
right?
like, this person is a Russian. And then someone was like, no, she's actually just like a moronic subhuman. And I was like, this is over Beto O'Rourke. Like,
He's at home, like, building a Lego castle right now. He's
Yeah.
not know any of this is happening.
And this may be funny to you, but those accounts are his family. There are thousands of them.
He has 3
there are
large
dozens
sons.
of us.
They're all named John.
Yeah,
I'm
so
sorry that happened
I
to
was
you.
like up all night that night, and I just wrote a post for my new newsletter, and I was like, I just recounted the story, and I made a lot of fun of everyone, including Beto and the Johns, and that was really fun to write.
I just read it. It was really funny. And
Thank God.
it ends with he blocked you, which is very funny to me.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah,
So you
he
can't hurt
blocked
him
me.
again.
Yeah.
He fucking blocked me. He went on a spree. Like, he blocked everyone.
Those guys
Who were yelling
after
at him.
Nevada had a fucking meltdown. They were like retweeting stuff and then deleting it and shit. They were, they were on one. You can tell, like, through the other end of a cell phone what's going on. I mean, they were pissed off. They were talking about Russia. They were cursing a little bit more than they usually allow themselves to.
It's not that kind of Twitter.com.
Yeah. I mean, Pfeiffer immediately went on some bullshit and said that, like, oh, Bernie's winning because of Russia.
Right.
It can't just be happening. I've talked about this ad nauseum.
Bernie's using
podcasts.
map hacks.
They are just so furious that Latin people showed up and voted, and now they're just like, well, they didn't know what they were doing. Putin must speak Spanish now. All this bullshit came out. So I think that you got caught up into what was probably the bender of Jon Favreau's lifetime. And
Probably. I mean, honestly, like, as someone who just quit drinking, like, honestly, I feel for you. John, if you want to get sober, you know what? Just call me up. I will go to a meeting with you. We'll figure it out, buddy.
yeah, maybe you end up becoming friends.
I've been making so many weird fucking friends lately. Like, I just made a friends with this guy who likes poop.
Right. Your friend that DM'd
Totally.
you.
No, we're friends now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like,
fucking
he's
funny.
funny.
Who
He
likes
says he's
poop?
done stand-up comedy. Okay,
Oh,
so
whoa.
I just... I'm sorry. You invite me on your podcast, and I immediately pivot to, like, the guy who, like, masturbates to
No.
Oh, he masturbates to poop?
Tell us all about it.
Yes, it's a thing. There are people out there who love poop.
Oh, God.
What? There's so many. Was I supposed to, like, know about this in advance? What's going on?
I mean, the
No,
Germans
I just
and all that
pivoted to
shit.
it. I'm so sorry. We can talk about something else.
No, let's
No,
dive
no.
into this.
How do you befriend somebody like
so
that?
here's
Okay, well,
You've
all
got
right,
a bunch
if
of-
having a
followed
poop.
You got a
his
bunch of
name was
angry
something Like
DMs.
Little Dick Fart Slave.
Okay.
okay.
Okay. And I was like, hey,
Little Dick
followers,
Fart
would
Slave.
you like to read an interview with this guy? And a solid 70% said yes.
Solid.
Blue wave.
Yeah. So I reached out to him, and we're really good friends now. And I'm going to interview him, and it's going to be fascinating. It's going to be about the nature of sex and submissiveness and humility and humiliation, and I'm really excited. It's on my mind.
You're such a positive person. I can't believe Jon Favreau was fucking mean to you. What an asshole.
I know. I'm so nice.
Well,
very open-minded.
I have been enjoying your newsletter, and I think this whole thing is funny. So I think let's plug your work. So
yeah,
I just started a newsletter on a whim because I was procrastinating from grad school, and please sign up so I can make failing out of grad school a positive life decision. It's at Jaya Time, Jaya Time, Time. .substack.com. It's funny. It's personal. I think I go into sobriety on my last issue. I go into the end of the world. That's on my mind. I have a take on civility that none of you are going to like. And yeah, it's a good time. I write a lot for Current Affairs, so you'll see my stuff there. And yeah, that's about it.
Cool. Well, I'll put it all in the show notes.
Oh, and I'm at Shut Up Jaya, obviously.
Cool. Yeah.
I love Current Affairs.
Hell yeah. Well,
yeah,
cool.
They're great.
And
Nathan's
even
great. He
past
dressed up
affairs.
as a peacock for Mardi Gras.
What?
Yeah, he looks amazing. He wore a unitard and a tutu and yeah. He was
Wow.
sending me pictures. It was great.
Wait, who did this?
Where am I?
Nathan
NBC?
Robinson.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because of the peacock?
Right.
All right, that's it for me, everybody.
Poop fetishist, Nathan Robinson in a peacock costume. Yeah, have me on again, you guys.
All
Absolutely.
Right. Well, John Waters, everybody. Cool. All right, well, thanks for coming on, and yeah, my listeners should check out your stuff.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, guys. Love what you do.
Yeah, I'll see you around. All right. Well, that was quite an episode, everyone. Means TV, Jaya Sundaresh.
Shit you can watch and people watching shit.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for the week. Let's plug shit. We got shit. I can't
Shit
stop
to plug.
I can't stop thinking about shit now.
If you've got shit in your brain, you're going to love our March 3rd show at Caroline's on Broadway. For Super Tuesday, all the stars will be there. We'll be watching 15 primaries. Roll on in.
I think it's 10.
No, it's 15.
Is it? Oh, fuck. All right.
I have a PowerPoint and everything.
I gotta write this down.
I've been working on this live show.
Okay. Sorry.
You guys got to come. There's tickets pinned to our Twitter. It's going to be a fucking banger. And there's no better way to watch our fine process at work.
Oh, yeah. This is gonna be the biggest, most produced fucking thing we've done to date. So please, if you live in New York, come watch Super Tuesday with us. We're gonna have all sorts of sketches and segments, and we got Kate Willett, we got Ted Alexandro doing stand up from all the various things, Netflix, Reply Guys, all that. Yeah, please. I know it's a trek into fucking Times Square, but if we make this a banger, then we can do more and more and more. Mm-hmm. And it'll be rad. So come to that. Come to the Means TV thing in Brooklyn at Littlefield on Friday. And other than that, I don't think I have anything coming up until April, which I've got another tour, but I can't really announce yet.
I have all kinds of shit, but you'll have to find me and get it out of me.
If you're in Florida, keep an ear out, because I'm coming to Florida soon in the first week of April.
Yeah. Jake is going to plug he'll be somewhere in Florida. Try and find Jake.
In Florida. I'm going to be doing crystal meth at the Harry Potter world.
Can you save Jake before the Gators get him?
Yeah. I quit cocaine, but I'm doing meth now. Mm-hmm. I'm just rotating the drugs I'm doing. Yeah. I think that's it. Bonus episodes on our Patreon, patreon.com/poddamnamerica. I noticed a bunch of people signed up this week, so we really fucking appreciate that.
There's good shit back there.
Yeah, I know. Maybe we just don't plug it enough. We do a whole other episode every week on this shit.
I mean, if you haven't heard, it's way better than this episode.
Yeah,
right
no,
now.
we do the better episodes on the Patreon.
My God,
you have to,
so funny.
and you can rate and review and subscribe on iTunes. It'll help us get
God.
better numbers and stuff. Yeah, and then just, I don't know, follow us on Twitter and shit.
Yeah, and thanks for listening. You look great.
You look fucking amazing.
Yep.
I want to fuck you. All right. Philip Seymour Hoffman. I want to fuck you
so bad. Fuck.
It's finished.
It's finished.
I finished.